My name is Helen Gillet, and I'm in my home studio in New Orleans, Louisiana. So I was born in Belgium, and my father is Belgian. My mom's American from the Chicago area. And when I was two, we moved to Singapore, and I stayed there for 9 years. So I had a glorious, beautiful childhood in the tropical weather of Singapore. And every summer, we'd go back and visit the relatives in Belgium and in Chicago. So I was raised on airplanes, and I was very lucky to travel and see the world so young. My first cello teacher was a Filipino woman in the Singapore Symphony Orchestra called Ermina Ilano, and she made me hug the cello for a full month before playing, which sounds like it might have gotten boring, but she would perform while I was hugging this instrument and kind of enjoying what she was playing. And so the sounds I got in my ears were of someone at a high caliber of performance level instead of the usual, which is like dying geese when you're first learning how to play cello. And then I went to college, anthropology. I got interested in jazz and Indian music, and I moved to New Orleans in 2002. And I'm basically celebrating this August. I'll be celebrating 20 years in New Orleans. I chose the cello because I was, again, very fortunate to have two parents who loved music, and they showed my brother and I a symphony orchestra on television. And they said, what instrument would you like to play? Take a good look. And my brother chose the trumpet or the cornet, and I was very, very tall, and I chose the bass because they were standing up, the double bass. And when we went to the store, my mom, who loved her Jacqueline Dupre cello albums, wonderful cellist Jacqueline Dupre, she thought, gosh, she's so close to the cello, and maybe also seeing the size difference as far as hauling a cello versus a bass in the car. She steered me towards the cello, and I didn't really know the difference yet. So I said, well, when do I get to stand up? And she's like, that'll come later. So my mother tricked me into playing the cello, and I'm very thankful because it's a fabulous instrument. So, and I end up playing some walking bass lines on it anyway. So we kind of both win. I got my beginnings in improvisation. At the same time, I was sort of dovetailing the end of my classical career with the beginnings of my jazz and improv career. Um, Thanks to one woman, Nancy Lesh, who studied Indian classical music on the cello for 7 years, every day for 7 years in India. And I was so lucky that she lived in Madison, Wisconsin when I was in college. And I took lessons from her for 2 years every week. And I spent 1 year on one raga and another year on another one. And I still feel like I just barely scratched the surface of that amazing catalog of music. But it opened my ears up for the first time. I was literally playing what she was singing to me, and then what she was playing on the cello, and doing call and response. And I was playing Rachmaninoff sonatas that I'd memorized and concertos and all this stuff. But when it came to just no music being dictated to me other than sung or played in the room, I felt like a baby. And there was just this whole other way of playing that I really, really enjoyed. And that's what got me interested in improvisation. And that's what got me interested in jazz. And so when I came down here, I teamed up with some musicians that were doing New Orleans Indian music fusion bands, Arabic, New Orleans jazz fusion project. I was in a tango band. I played in a rock band. Then I played in a progressive jazz quartet that was looking for a cello player. I still felt very green as an improviser, but I could read the charts really well, and then I would give it I had my own little modes and things that I incorporated from the Indian music, and then my classical ear and stuff like that. I'm very excited to bring my whirling dervish style of cello playing to the Foundry in my solo show, where I get to be all the facets of who I am. In addition to all this improvising, I was talking about I love French chansons because the French song canon is so passionate and dramatic, and it's great for cello, and it suits my alto voice, and I've loved singing French chansons for over a decade now, and so I get to go anywhere I want to in my show, and I can pivot on a dime when I'm playing by myself, so I can be very connected with the audience and with the moment. And the audience is going to see me build loop layers of cello. So I have this one woman kind of orchestra thing going on. In my music, what I enjoy is trying to overlap different genres on the fly. I love being a live performer. I never do my songs the same way twice.